wasn't.
When does it start?
Right now.
Starts right now?
Right now.
Here we go. Another episode. We're coming at you.
I cannot
All
believe
right,
that.
so we're going over Dune 2. Get excited. Be ready.
Well,
We're
I have to
starting the
check
trailer.
just because.
What are you doing?
Well, I messed that up. Okay, those are recording.
Yeah, told you.
I just didn't record there. Sorry, you were rushing.
No, we're good.
Yeah, but that was really good. Everything we said was awesome about Star Wars and Dune. And
It's over. You missed it.
no, but we got to do it again, kind of.
We will. But first, we're going to start with the Dune 2 trailer that comes out here in the spring, March, April, somewhere around there. If you haven't seen Dune 1, go see it. It's better than Star Wars or anything you've ever seen sci-fi related. It's Prometheus and Blade Runner and all those types of awesome futuristic movies in there. So I would 100% say go see it.
We just recorded for 5 minutes, and I didn't record it, so that's where we're at. Come on.
Now I'm just pressing play.
Now we're just pressing play.
All right, here. Big
So
screen.
this is the Dune
Big
2
screen.
trailer.
Dune 2 trailer.
Part 2.
Dune 2. Dune 2.
This world is beyond cruelty. We've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades.
My gosh.
My family's been fighting them for centuries. They were massacred. Alongside my father.
He was such a cool character.
Dope part. She is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me fight beside you.
Well, I haven't seen this trailer.
Whoa.
Ooh.
He said that.
I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
Oh. Yes. Oh, why did I show that in the trailer, though?
This shit's so dope.
The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it. Because all my visions lead to horror.
The Bene Gesserit is just crazy.
I don't like that they revealed that he's just alive.
Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is
Whoa.
still alive.
Dope. That's such a cool thing, too.
He looks insane.
Yeah, he does.
I was a weak man. Who comes back from the dead? Dune must be done.
Wow.
Wow.
Something to hope for.
How many years go on in this? It wasn't him.
As long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
It's not a prophecy. It's a story. I don't care what you believe. I believe.
Jesus.
I mean, this movie just gets me.
Sick.
The language sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
That's cool.
Oh,
God, it looks fucking
gosh. All right. All right, so to try to save what we unrecorded or didn't record, how
cool.
it's
We
shot
basically, I guess, yeah, I think
How
that's
it's
how it's
shot.
shot.
is just
And the way it puts you into that like world, like it just feels like how Prometheus did. It feels like how Blade Runner.
it feels possible.
It feels like how Blade Runner, the newest one that came out. You know, it feels.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's just shot so perfect in that, like, for what they're trying to tell you, it's in the future. All the little future bullshit is just dope.
Even though it feels old, but
Yeah.
not. And it's like what we were saying earlier. The how everybody took everything from this movie, and George Lucas, who liked Dune, grew up and made this with the boy in the desert. And
It's just that Star Wars stole every single thing from them. And some, like you said, some little elementary kids saw Dune, heard Dune, did Dune, whatever, and
Yeah.
then started to just make up their own bullshit about it.
Yes.
And just, this is the world. And
There was a kid in the desert who
I
had
mean,
powers.
Spice, desert, it's done.
The Force?
Done. The Force, Benny Gesserit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And then the people in space are
Force?
trying to take
Hey,
over what we're doing.
no. Is it the Force? No, it's the voice.
It's the voice.
So voice, Force,
Stop it.
sand, Dune. We're good. Thank you for taking everything.
All of it. But then
Um,
making, like how you were saying, like all the alien stuff I just can't do.
No, they just got way too fucking out of hand with that, and too kiddish, and too they're talking like bubbles.
It's
and
too
then they're trying-
family friendly.
Yes.
Even though if that's your goal, I'm sorry. The original story, knowing that like he liked Dune, is just too cool.
No,
And,
yeah.
Like the old movies, I think we were saying that were just didn't do it justice.
Terrible.
They were bad movies.
Terrible. And then they got way too out of hand and woke towards the very end to where everyone had powers and everyone was awesome.
Oh, I didn't.
And remember Carrie Fisher at the very end was flying too?
Oh, you're talking about Star Wars
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
I
how she was just dead. and
Yeah,
all-
I was like, what the they got way too out of hand with it all. The story got way too crazy. The best thing that Star Wars did was make Rogue One and Solo. That's
Rogue
it.
One?
Done. Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah.
After that, it's over for all those movies. They're all terrible to me.
I only have like a little nostalgia for the '90s ones, but besides that, when growing up and watching them again, I'm like,
I think the
ugh.
Harry Potter saga is better than fucking Star Wars.
I'm sorry, it is.
I mean, you can get past the first two for the Bumbledorfs and Gorfs and Dorfs and the kids, and then it's
well,
kind of normal.
really, it's just the first one. The second one has that big Slytherin snake.
Yeah, and then the Star Wars, I mean, they're terrible, some of them.
It's really hard to get through.
Yeah, it's really hard to get through. Now, the Dune 2, I think, is dope is that they kept all the same cast. The Batista is raw.
Oh, I'm really surprised.
Brolin.
Every role he's in.
Josh Brolin is amazing in it. So sick he's at.
I don't like that they just acted like, oh, he's back.
Javier is perfect for that kind of little part. And then Rebecca Ferguson, the Silo girl,
Yeah.
his mom,
Uh-huh.
she just kills that part.
She's great in it. She's Silo?
She's Silo.
She is?
Someone was positive.
Silo's great. Best show that came out this year so far, I feel. Is she right there? She's
Told ya.
Silo. No, yeah. She's
She's just cool.
Really
And
good
the
in it.
whole and what was funny is in that movie, remember they said that Benny Gesserit was like the most powerful thing. That they didn't want to like. Even the Emperor didn't want to fuck with her.
No.
Remember they said something like that. The Emperor doesn't want to fuck with her. That's fucking crazy.
You mean when he like lied to her?
Something happened. I forget
He-
what. I forget what.
It was a
exactly
fat guy
part
and his
it
little
is.
servant. And
Yeah.
then he like lied to her really quick, and he was like, "We're gonna take over all of it. Fuck her."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that."
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Because those people, the right hand men people, they kind of train with that weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
I
the
think
mental
it's.
powers.
I just think it's cool. I think it's gonna be complete. I wish. It sounds crazy, but I wish they would have done like fucking 6 seasons of it.
Of what?
Dune. Instead of just 2 movies, I wish they would have just done like 6 seasons of it.
See, I almost like the show situation because with the Game of Thrones and how I just said Silo, like you
I mean,
yeah,
you got to think. Ever since they started doing the whole series breakout, like let's just say around 2000, okay, they started doing all the series breaks out. How many series are your favorite now versus the movies you've seen?
movies have been lacking.
I mean, there's some great movies that I've watched and came out, but like some of the series that have dropped over the past, like let's just say 10 to 15 years, or Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad,
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
I mean, we could go on and on and on, but like those are some of my favorite things to watch. So it's just, you know what I mean? I wish they would have done like fucking 6 seasons of it instead of just
What's
2
another good
movies.
show?
I mean, there's
Like
countless
that.
kind of shows.
I mean, yeah, I know.
Better
One.
Call Saul.
Well, it's still Breaking Bad.
Not really. It's a totally different show.
No, not really at all.
It's
in any way.
similar. Shows, Jesus. I mean, Silo.
They said they were going to make a show out of Jenna Bezeret. I don't know if that's happening.
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
And I hope HBO does it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just I just started at Boardwalk Empire on HBO. See what that is.
The first Dune, though, what I was gonna say is the story of it. Really, I'm surprised at how good. Besides how good it looked, like the story's so good too. It's
perfect.
And how he's like turning on them, but he used to own it, and they're like tricking him. But then there's the Emperor in the back. Like the whole thing's great.
Well,
and the
essentially,
Doctor.
it's like genocide to somebody, one of those like cultures. They're trying
They
to just
wanna kill
basically
him
wipe
off.
out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that only
don't
hold
give
like
a
so
shit.
many. Yeah. So. It's cool that they just that's how the war is going to be, and then like the I think it's cool how they do the weapons. They don't make them so crazy futuristic, how like that you would think they would do.
Well, they're fighting with a lot of knives, and
That's what I'm saying. They still keep it like real like barbaric in
Yes.
the sense that they have to like still fight like with themselves and hands and
not
knives.
laser. Pew, 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 pew,
No,
pew.
yeah, but the fucking that
Oh,
thing,
the little shield.
force field.
That's
thing is
cool.
dope.
Well, compared to the old
Well,
one.
when Duncan, Idaho, when he got killed and he had that shield on, he was fighting out all those guys in the first one. That was fucking sick. Jason
Well, but
Momoa,
the
I
first-
can't
well,
stand
but think about how
because of
they-
Aquaman, but that scene there, and well, the show is C, first of all, but then that scene
What are
there,
you talking about right now?
Jason Momoa,
But what about what were you saying? The old
he
movie?
had the shield.
Who was in the old movie?
I'm not talking about the old movie.
Oh, you just said somebody else's name. I thought.
In the first movie, Jason Momoa, when he had his shield on, and he was
Gotcha.
fighting off all those guys.
Oh,
That made me a huge fan of him just because of how dope that scene was.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, you there?
I thought you were talking about the first original movie for a second.
No,
I was,
that movie was fucking trash.
well, yes.
Terrible.
I was saying how
The fat
how
crazy guy was the
blocky they
best.
looked in the first one with their shield.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. The Baron did the best job, and he was the most annoying. But everybody else was too Shakespeare-ish. The way they talked and looked into the fucking sky the whole entire time. I couldn't stand that. In the first one,
Yeah.
you know, it was just way.
Well, they spoke like it was Shakespeare.
They had way too many other movies out that did so much better of a job with like the early graphics that they could have done that they didn't like try to use any of. You know what I mean? Like it was shot like in the 70s.
Yeah.
Versus like in the 80s.
Yeah.
But they did just a great job with all those like tools. But what I definitely think they stole from that first Man of Steel is that floating thing that follows them around all the time. You know what I'm talking about? In the movie, there's that like personal
the
assistant
little personal
almost thing,
assistant
like, that
robot
follows
who's
him
not a robot,
around.
but it's a robot.
Yeah, like tells him like things and then says breakfast or whatever, you know, all the bullshit. And it just follows him around. Here's a light, you know, it's like his personal little thing. They took that from that Man of Steel for
You
sure.
think?
100%. It was a sick concept.
And
That
it's
little
also-
future shit that they showed in that Man of Steel, just a little bit.
And it's also that whole thing where it's like, because Dune doesn't use computers.
Yeah.
They're all like,
But how are those things flying?
what?
It's an engine, right?
I think he said he's not going to explain it.
And I don't think he said they're never going to show like
The
the ships, like,
spaceships?
close-ups and like all that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
I think he's going to explain it because when you explain it, like the first one, it's those big mind boggle like.
Yeah. And it
And
just
it's
got
like,
too,
what is that? And I don't think he wants to put that on camera.
get in there. I don't think you can make it good enough to put on camera. Like, I don't think you can do it justice with all this shit. Versus
Without
what it's like-
getting more into the Star Warsy, like alien looking.
Yeah.
He wants to keep it very human.
yeah, which it feels very like, feels like it's gonna happen.
Oh, that's the future.
Like when they showed,
What is it, 30,000 years in the future?
yeah, when they showed the first, is it the Prince of Atreides or whatever, the King of Atreides, whatever it is. When
Who, the black guy when he came down in the big ship, the big egg ship?
No, the first like Atreides king that died. French tooth.
His dad.
Yeah, his dad.
Which, by the way, I was going to say, with him and the doctor and how he gave him the thing to kill his tooth, that whole... Wow.
Dope.
My wife, they pull her apart like a doll. I have
He
to.
killed you anyway. you
Kill
fuck.
him, though. Here's a clink, clink, clink. It's cool. Yeah.
That was fucking great. What a sick concept.
That's what I
Think
mean
about
when I said the story. It's too good.
They have some like chemical in there that no matter what, if you just smelt a little bit of it, fentanyl you to death.
Something.
Like that was just.
He said, make sure your last breath is like worth it.
I want to know what that black shit was that Baron was in when he was healing.
Oh, the bubble goop.
What is the bubble gum? What is that
He
shit?
came up out of the oil slick.
Yeah, what is that? I'll try that sauna that he was in. That
just-
sauna and steam room
Oh,
that
that-
looked like it. Yeah, I'll
like,
I am Atreides. I am Dune. It's my Dune.
Yeah, my Dune.
My God. My Dune. Or whatever he says.
No God.
Skarsgård plays a sick part, though. He's scary as fuck in that. When he fucking toe drags all his way over to the fucking guy.
Who?
The Big Baron, Skarsgård, that's his name.
Oh, the Skarsgård.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
When he fucking,
Oh, when he dragged his foot at the end, it was like,
it's just followed him.
and he was like, I'll give you the same treatment as your wife.
Bye.
And he was just holding his head,
Yeah, you're done.
floating.
He's fucking crazy. What I like is that he didn't take the crazy first 1884
The first
Dune,
guy's so gross and so wah.
but I want to know, like, why he chose the
He's so minimal,
Oh.
but he's fucking terrifying.
serial killer almost.
Yeah.
Quiet. Just, I'll kill you.
Who he does a much better job than the Daredevil who tried to do that, where he's like the crazy, but he's not.
What do you mean?
Remember the big fat guy in Daredevil who's like, he's supposed to be the quiet crazy, and then out of nowhere.
Yeah. No.
He was too with
No. I just, I'm dying to see the second one and how they, like, wrap it all up.
How long is it? I hope it's long.
It has to be 3 hours, like the first one. The first one was like 3 hours, so the second one has to be around that too. Just seeing how they wrap it up. Wish they would.
Where do they end it with?
Huh?
Where do they end it with? They're in the desert, and they think they won, right?
Well, no, they're in the desert and they think they won, and he's getting ready to go with all the Fremen and like start to like they think he's like a fucking total prophet,
But-
like God, and like
Skarsgård and what's his name? They're coming back down and just rule again, right?
Yeah.
because they think we won.
well, good. No, they want all the sand for themselves, all the spice.
Well, but all that place that they were at, that city, they built. Then they were told to kick out. Then what's his name came in. So aren't they just moving right back in?
I would think so.
Right? Just being like, we just did that just to kill y'all.
I would think so. I'm definitely, yeah, I definitely wish I had the patience to read through the book. Definitely don't. Not a reader, but maybe just
No.
maybe we'll just ask Aunt Carol.
Carol
if
got
I-
it for
yeah,
you.
Maybe we'll just yeah. I can't for some reason can't not read.
And 'twas the night that Paul
yeah,
said,
I just
do
I
it."
can't do it.
Nope.
Can't even come close. But I almost just want to blast Aunt Carol with questions because she knows everything from the book.
Well, she read them when they came out, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Well, how old are they? Whatever. She read them when she was a
Yeah,
child.
she'll just know.
back in the
but
day.
what I want to know how much further he gets away from the book into the movie, like what he's.
Well,
leaving
you're getting
out,
too far away from the
what he's
mic.
leaving out, what he's not leaving out. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I want to know how far away he gets from the book.
Oh,
Where does he end it? Where does the book end? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Sometimes they have their own little play on it. It's like
well, I'm
maybe, like,
assuming
word
that
for
the
word.
first one, the 80s one, is like almost like the book.
Yeah.
Just from the way they spoke, it seemed like he was just trying to bring that to life.
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see what happens though. I want to see the part when he rides that fucking big ass sandworm for the first
Oh, and
time.
it goes, "Bink."
Yeah, and they're like fucking looking at him like, okay, fucking Kelly Slater.
I
riding a
guess
wave.
you're the guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just dying to see that thing. I think they just did a phenomenal job in the way it was shot and the way it makes you feel. I can't say that enough times. And
Definitely up there with my top favorite sci-fi space movies.
it's up there with Prometheus. For me, Prometheus is number one.
That's number one.
And there's a ton of other ones after that, but Dune would have to probably be like above a lot of them for second.
Yeah, Prometheus, and then the second one of that would have to be my favorite. That whole little story with what's his name,
Yeah. So I just
the
think-
robot.
Yeah.
What's his name
What are you talking about?
in Prometheus? What's his name? The robot. Fucking Bink.
David.
David. His whole little. When you find out, oh, he's the main character. So cool.
No, when you find out at the very end, he's created all this. Look what he fucking created.
He spent like how long on
Then
here?
he went down, went back, found where those fucking like pale looks like fucking Austin Butler in Dune.
Yeah.
When they went back there, then he just dropped all the fucking.
And then he said that he just
Gabla.
experimented and experimented and experimented until
And
he
then
finally
finally
made a
found-
perfect little
The thing that's well, he made the thing. Okay, after I suck on face, I'm creating a fucking killer.
monster.
And then once he did, I mean, that was crazy.
When it showed him make the little egg, and he was like,
just
"Take a
standing
look
at, no,
inside
he was
of
like
it."
standing at the bay doors, like looking down, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just eating up everyone alive. God, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, those are my favorite when it comes to space and sci-fi. The opening of Prometheus, like you said with Dune, just feels so
You
believable.
can't. It's Unreal.
That's how we started, and Dune's how we ended. It's
Yeah.
I got it.
So, I definitely can't wait to see number
Yeah,
two.
I can't wait for number 2 to come out.
So definitely, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, and get ready for the number 2.
Adios, amigos.